Good morning. Happy Thursday. So I love it when somebody is deemed an overnight success because almost always that's not what happened. It never is the case that somebody starts something and immediately becomes successful. Almost never. I mean, once in a while that happens, but usually the situation is that they've actually been doing this for years and years and years and have done thousands of hours, and then all of a sudden, bang, the success comes, and then somebody says, oh, wow, they're an overnight success. You know, it's like a bamboo tree. A bamboo tree, you have to plant it and water it and water it, and it takes forever. And then suddenly, in a very short period of time, it grows 40, 80 feet into the air. And a lot of times with success, that's the way that it works, is you put in all of this time, and it seems like you're getting nowhere, and then all of a sudden, boom, all the success in the world comes. If you've ever lost weight, a significant amount of weight, you'll know that you'll plateau. And, you know, I used to be about 80 pounds heavier, and I would lose weight, and then I would plateau, and I wouldn't lose weight for what seemed like forever, like months. And then all of a sudden I would lose 10, 15, 20 pounds in a very short period of time. And success is that way. Jeff Dunham is one of my favorites because I kind of happened to be seeing him when this happened. He's the ventriloquist. He's pretty much stationed in Vegas right now, but he had been a ventriloquist for like 25 years, and he had one character, his first character, Peanut, that was funny, and then he had these other characters, and he kind of did his thing. He would do small clubs, and then he decided he wanted to be bigger, and he changed managers, and the new manager said, well, if you want to be bigger, you're going to have to do something different, so start doing different characters. So he started doing all of these different characters. He had Bubba J, who was an African-American character. He had, who was a like Southern redneck character. And then he had this African-American character. And then one day he decided to do Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. And there's a video out there of the first time that he did this character. And it wasn't that long after 9/11. And he came out and started doing the character. I mean, and the crowd just went, they just went quiet. And then all of a sudden he did one joke and it clicked. And I happened to see him at a comedy club right when he started doing Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. And the comedy club, there was probably 50 people at this comedy club. And then within a couple of months, I saw him at the Coronado Theater in Rockford. And within 4 months of that, he was playing places like the Metro Center in Rockford. And then within a year and a half of the Coronado, he was playing stadiums. He actually did a stadium tour, a ventriloquist that did a stadium tour. So now that looked like an overnight success, but it wasn't an overnight success. It was that he had done this forever and ever and ever, and then finally decided, you know what, I want to get bigger, and he changed his approach and then added. And then all of a sudden became very significant in terms of his size. You know, there's never an easy way. You know, a lot of times people want there to be, that's the lottery syndrome. I'm going to go win the lottery and then I'll be rich. The problem with that is if all of a sudden somebody just hands you millions of dollars, you never built the muscle in terms of how to do what you need to do with that money. And so that's why most lottery winners, the money is gone in a relatively short period of time. They didn't earn it. They didn't build the muscle to earn it. There's no easy way to get the success. If you've got a problem in your life, you need to face it and go through it. People a lot of times want a quick fix. Well, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this quick hit. You know, that's the gambler syndrome. I'll do this and I'll do this and then I'll get ahead. But you're never going to get ahead because the quick fix never works. If you want to lose weight, you got to do the process. If you want financial freedom, you got to do the process. If you want a great relationship, you got to put in the time. You got to do the process. Remember that when you're faced with a problem in your life, don't try to go around it. I mean, don't be stupid. Don't do stuff that you don't have to do. Don't put extra work on your life for no reason. But the only way to deal with a problem is to go through it, because then you build the muscle. Then you build the emotional muscle so that you have the confidence that you're not going to deal with that problem again. You now know how to conquer it. The people that make their own money have a tendency to keep it a lot better, because in terms of becoming significantly rich, because they've developed the mental muscle with regards to money. Now they can pass that on to their kids because there's generational wealth that has been successful, but they're like the Rockefellers. But there's also been generational wealth that's not been successful, like the Vanderbilts. So see, one generation taught the next generation how to have the money muscle and made them go through it, and the other family didn't. And if you read about the Vanderbilts, at one time the Vanderbilts had more money than the United States government. When the United States government was still on the gold standard, the Vanderbilts actually had more cash than the United States government. But then 4 generations later, the money was all gone. Meanwhile, the Rockefellers, that foundation donates more now than was originally put into the foundation. So it donates more money on an annual basis than was put by Mr. Rockefeller when he started the foundation, and it supports 200 people and continues to grow. Because all of them, the family learned how to teach their kids the money muscle and how to be responsible with money. And part of it is they have to go live on their own for a period of time. Every Rockefeller has got to go live for 2 years. They got to work for another company and live on their own. Then they can come back and live off of the trust. That way they learn and appreciate, they develop the muscle. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut. You got to go through it. So whatever you got going on in your life that you need to face it, and you need to go through it. And we've all got something that we need to be dealing with. And my wife says, don't ignore the elephant in the corner of the room juggling and eating peanuts. What most people want to do is hand it another bag of peanuts so that they don't have to deal with it. Well, what we need to do is we need to put the elephant front and center and deal with it. And success comes to those who do that. Those who don't ignore the problems, those who are willing to do the work and put in the time, the 10,000 hours that the Beatles did, they're the ones that end up having significant success and, quite frankly, having happiness in their life because they develop the muscle. So they have the confidence and they have the freedom in all respects that they have the ability to handle whatever life throws at them. Hope that makes sense. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very, very much for watching. It's nice to see everyone on here. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.